Welcome to the WDSU Hot Seat. I'm Casey Ferran, and we have the unique opportunity to be joined by our mayor-elect, Ms. LaToya Cantrell, here on the Xavier University campus, where you're holding your transition offices and everything as you get prepared for taking office.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
How are you doing? How's everything going?
Everything's going well. I'm very excited. The energy, not only in the office, but the energy in the city, throughout the city as you just travel and talk with people. People are very excited. The momentum is high, and that has really fueled my fire in terms of working hard to hit the ground running come May.
Let's talk about that transition. How is that working together? What are you all doing to prepare for taking office on May 4th?
Well, first of all, we had to set up an organization which is called Forward Together New Orleans. We had to create that organization to be the primary source of funding in partnership also with our fiscal agents, Foundation for Louisiana, the Greater New Orleans Foundation. As you know, we have to raise resources for transition as well as for the inauguration. And so there are some housekeeping things that had to go into the past month or so to get the transition headquarters up and running. You mentioned Xavier University. Again, that partnership and creating that partnership that allowed us to move in January the 2nd. So we're a couple days into our space. We have not only volunteers, but we're staffing up in regards to the transition offices. On this past Friday, we received all of the briefing materials from the administration, the current administration. We have been identifying and taking a real laser focus on individuals to volunteer their time to serve on the Transition Advisory Board as well as committees. And so a lot of work has gone into getting us to where we are today, January, here right at the start of January. But I'm telling you, it's all really targeted on delivering real recommendations that will be delivered as we begin to take office May the 7th. This is not an ordinary transition team. It's not a show. It's not like a free-for-all of people just coming and throwing out their ideas, although we are capturing ideas, but we are being very focused on issues that we know we are faced with in our city. So whether that is infrastructure, whether that is, of course, public safety, neighborhood stabilization, relative to not only quality and affordable housing, but blight eradication and getting the trash out of our people's eyes. In regards to economic development, looking very closely at the main anchor in our city that will be charged with that, like the New Orleans Business Alliance, for example. So this is a transition that will be very targeted on specific outcomes that come May 7th, we will begin to implement on. We'll be able to implement very closely.
So you'll hit the ground running right when you head into office?
Yes.
What are some of the top 3 priorities when you do take office?
Well, the top 3 will be, of course, as it relates to public safety. We will either be moving forward with conducting a search, a national or local search for a police chief, but taking this time and using the time wisely, 4 months, to determine what that outcome will be. So work will be happening in the next 4 months. And it means that it's not an ordinary, come to the table just to kick around ideas. It means us really focusing on what type of police chief do we want, do we currently have, looking at retention as well as growth, looking at things that we do want to tweak and therefore things that we want to maintain, but having individuals focused on these issues to provide us with next steps come May 7th. So again, very targeted in regards to neighborhood stabilization, looking at housing. We know throughout the campaign it was a big priority relative to quality and affordable housing for everyone, meaning that everyone can afford. Looking at, again, cleaning up our built environment that our people are living in. People want blight eradicated. They want overgrown vacant lots cleared from the communities where they live. Looking again at Sewage and Water Board in regards to infrastructure, subsurface as well as surface. We have to look at that and be ready come May 7th and even prior to have effective leadership in place. A lot of that work will be happening even throughout the transition. We know that the current administration has initiated a search for an executive director for Sewage and Water Board. So here right now, throughout transition, is using the time again to be involved in the process, because I will have to select that executive director. And being able to select the best director that we need for Sewage and Water Board, it means being engaged in the process and also understanding the real needs of our infrastructure, both in terms of surface and subsurface, to make the best decisions relative to Sewage and Water Board. But that's not in isolation of the Department of Public Works. Again, a big priority. Currently, we have an interim director in place. We know that we're going to have to, throughout this transition, take a deeper dive on that department, changes that need to be made, not only in regards to leadership, but in terms of the overall organizational structure. But having that in place come May 7th so that we can begin to implement and really move things forward.
Let me ask you, do you have any candidates in mind for the position of DPW director as well as Sewage and Water Board or for police chief?
That will be determined throughout the transition. So that's what I mean. This is not a show. The transition is really intended to be that deep dive that we take that will generate not only recommendations, but deliver results that we're wanting to hit the ground on and fully implement come May 7th. And that's why it does take time to have effective leadership in place, meaning people working on the transition teams and committees, skill sets and core competencies. This is not about, just someone joining again for a show, but it is about wanting to get the best out of the working groups that will be formed. They will be facilitated. Again, wanting to be very focused on outcomes.
Let's look back at your city council career as a city council member in District B. So let's talk about maybe some of the accomplishments that you're most proud of from your time on the city council.
Sure. Well, in terms of District B, and I'm still that council member. So I'm doing my job and service in regards to District B. And a part of the transition has been that as well. I have moved my chief of staff, who is now full-time on the transition team as of January the 2nd. That means that I've had to hire a land use director, and also not a land use director, I've had to hire a legislative director for the District B office that started working 2 days ago. So a part of the transition has been me staffing up and stabilizing the District B office so that my constituents can continue to have the service and the quality of service that they've had over the past 5 going on 6 years. And so those accomplishments have been around economic development and growing jobs and growing commercial and growing housing opportunities in our city, bringing affordability, housing affordability to the forefront of our city, making it a priority that will be one, of course, as mayor. Also in regards to ensuring that we're stabilizing neighborhoods in terms of blight eradication, wanting to scale up programs that I started in the district, Green and Clean, that I'm looking to scale them up as mayor. Again, getting the trash out of our people's eyes, leveling overgrown vacant lots, but making them green and really an asset in communities where our people live. Again, looking at public safety, I was at the forefront of ensuring that we used adequate technology and bringing in better innovation as it relates to technology, what has led to our command center that we have in our city right now. Real-time interventions in terms of crime cameras, but that we can see, and in communication, effective communication with the officers that are boots on the ground. So wanting to scale up the level of technology and innovation to be a multiplier, a force multiplier as it relates to NOPD.
And we're seeing a lot of changes within the City Council, new members coming in. What are your thoughts on the new City Council?
Well, I'm looking forward to working with the New Orleans City Council as mayor. Having been on the council, I know that it is truly a benefit when the council is respected and we're working as a true partnership, respected as a body. And that's what I'm going to be laser focused on, building those relationships, having a robust intergovernmental affairs office within the executive branch that will work very closely with the City Council, that will work very closely with our state delegation. You know, all of these are very critical. So I've been taking my time to reach out to the City Council members, reaching out to the state delegation, reaching out to our federal delegation, because it's going to be essential as these relationships will determine how effective not only my administration will be, but how effective we will be at bringing about the changes that we need in the city overall, growing jobs and opportunities.
And as you become mayor, how do you think your administration will differ from the current one that we're seeing now?
Well, surely in regards to building strong relationships and partnerships and working with the New Orleans City Council, but truly, you know, as a body, strengthening those relationships with the local delegation in terms of the state delegation, being intentional about that. These will be changes that we will bring forth. I've been in communication with our parish presidents in terms of thinking regional. Again, very close communication with leadership with Jefferson Parish that will be offering me an opportunity to build and even learn from how they have built their intergovernmental delegation office and how they work with their state delegation. So I'll be working with Ms. Ruby Noble there to bring in some lessons learned from JP and implementing them here in Orleans Parish. So again, thinking regional, making the connections with our parish presidents, and we have some plans and meetings scheduled that are on the books right now, working and thinking very closely about the relationship with the governor, but really about working together, being very bottom up and not top down will be my approach. Also as it relates to City Hall, in terms of, you know, our employees that run City Hall on a day-to-day basis, wanting to fully implement recommendations that have come from a compensation study that the City Council and administration initiated, that we've gotten these recommendations back in November. So this has been a part of what we've been doing as well, combing through the study, combing through the recommendations so that we can stabilize the working environment as well as compensation for those who make city government run.
In looking at the national landscape of what's happening around the country, we're seeing a lot of women come into positions of leadership and power, mayor here in New Orleans. How does it feel to know that you're going to be the first mayor, female mayor, of New Orleans?
Well, you know, I didn't run to be the first, but it sure is great not only to be in this wonderful position, this wonderful opportunity. After 300 years, I think it's time for a woman. Women have proven in our city to be great legislators, and I have no doubt that in my position we will see that women can also be great executives. And so I'm ready for this post, and I will be delivering results for every citizen in our city.
And even before coming into office, you have been kind of under some public scrutiny and a part of an investigation. How would you like to address that? I mean, do you feel like there's some misperceptions about you that are floating around right now?
Well, I say maybe the biggest is some maybe not ready for the job. I am more than ready for the job, and taking the time that's necessary to build a real effective transition team, utilizing this time very wisely. 4 months can benefit this city very well, and that means being laser focused again on issues and challenges that we have in our city right now that come May 7th, as mayor, I will be able to move forward on. And so this is not a normal transition period, and therefore the time is a benefit to us. And again, not a show, but delivering real outcomes. I am an organizer, and a part of organizing a team is understanding that you have to have people with skill sets, core competencies at the table, but expanding the scope of inclusion, being able to bring in people that you may not necessarily know, but are very, very good workers and hard workers to get things done, that are not your typical people that you see on every board and every commission, or being named a part of an organization or taking on a particular position. This is our opportunity to expand that scope of inclusion, as well as to hit the ground running. I've been working very hard over the past month, meeting with congressional leaders, meeting with our local delegation, meeting with incoming council, meeting with stakeholders throughout the city, business community, neighborhood leaders, faith-based organizations. This is how we're going to not only hear from, but elevate those voices again from the bottom up to make real decisions that we will be able to act on and implement come May 7th. And understanding that while I'm doing transition, I'm currently serving the city as a councilwoman.